Hi, I'm delighted to be joined by Judy and Monica to talk about the ESG issues facing industrial manufacturing organisations and what that means from a tax perspective. So, Monica, starting with you, what are the key ESG drivers affecting this sector?
Yeah, really what we're seeing in the industrial manufacturing space is a really complex and hard to abate supply chain, coupled with a really intricate business that is really essential to how economy and society works, and really helping those clients understand where they can make efforts now and really break down the challenge is one of the things we're really focusing on with industrial clients right now.
Thank you. And Judy, coming to you, what does this mean from a tax leader's perspective? How should they respond?
I think there are three things that tax leaders should focus on. The first is governance. The second is the value of incentives in helping to finance the cost of green projects. And that's a real opportunity for tax leaders to partner with their business in order to help deliver green projects. And thirdly, I think tax leaders need to focus on the stick element of tax, that there are taxes that have been introduced in order to incentivise different behaviour, for example, plastic packaging tax, and the business leaders and the tax function need to look together to say, should that tax impact on the business's supply chain?
Thank you. Lots of change happening in this space in the sector. So Monica, a few words from you around regulatory change and future landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. So our UK-based clients will be really familiar with the TCFD, which is the Task Force for Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, and really is the landmark regulation requiring companies to begin to report against climate-related items in their business. Looking ahead, what we're seeing is an international regulation coming in, the ISSB. We're also seeing the US regulation come in, the SEC, and then of course there's a number of other regulations such as the EU taxonomy and transition planning regulation that companies can look forward to coming down.
There's lots of acronyms there.
Yes, it is.
Wouldn't be tax due without an acronym. Do you have a regulatory change acronym for us?
Of course I do, Carol. We can start with CBAM. And CBAM is being introduced across Europe, and what that will ultimately be is a levy for the cost of importing carbon-intensive materials. And the idea is that that levy will be equivalent to the levy that's imposed for those materials when they are created within Europe. Businesses and tax leaders need to be starting to think about the impact of that levy and how it should affect their supply chain. For example, do they still want to be importing those materials from outside of Europe, or do they want to get a different supplier?
So much to think about, complexities around supply chain in particular. I wonder, what are your views on the biggest challenges and opportunities here for the sector? And I'll come to you, Monica, first.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for these organizations is really beginning to understand their ambition and trying to decide where they want to start with the challenge. So our most successful clients, we see them really start at the board level and define that ambition right at the top and try to understand from that side where the company wants to go, what changes they want to make, and really what they want to be famous for in the market. From there becomes an opportunity for our clients to begin to break down that challenge and begin to embed some change, whether it's just in their own operations or whether it's working with their suppliers to begin to decarbonize some of those more complex issues.
Thank you. And Judy, as a tax leader in this space, what would you prioritise and what would you have at the top of your to-do list?
I think the thing at the top of my to-do list, echoing what Monica said, is to build, for the tax function, to build a relationship with the board. Because although tax can add a lot of value to a business, for example through reliefs and incentives, those reliefs and incentives are only valuable if they are delivering projects that the business wants to deliver. So my number one priority for a tax leader would be to say you need to build your relationships with the board and the rest of the business, because only by doing that can you deliver maximum value.
Thank you both for joining me. I guess a couple of things that really resonate with me, the importance and complexity of supply chain challenges and the importance of tax being properly integrated with the business and being close to the business strategy in order to really drive value. So thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.